Hi guys, thanks for joining us. Today we are looking at the T4E, Umarex T4E Walther PPQ paintball pistol, .43 cal. So we're going to open the box, we're going to see what we get. We're going to do some shooting, so we're going to shoot our friend here and see what it's like. It's been around for a long time. So it was probably one of the first products in the Umarex T4E range, which means train for engagement. So let's have a look. So inside you have got a handy squeegee, which is for cleaning, a spring for the magazine. So if you want to fire different types of ammo, such as rubber rounds or harder projectiles and paintballs or powder balls, then this is the spring you need to use. And we'll show you how to change that in a bit. And then we have it, the PPQ. Look at that. That is an awesome piece of kit. I'm just going to show you quickly some of the features. So if we look just here on the trigger, you see it's got like a double trigger, which is a safety feature. So it can't just be accidentally pulled if it's holstered, or if it's just lying around. It has to be pulled really intentionally, which is great. You've also got, like the real thing, you've got a slide stop. So if you take the magazine out, once that's empty, the slide stop engages and the slide stays back, and it won't disengage until either you take the slide stop off or you reload. Now inside we've got the PPQ mag, and I love these things, and the reason I love them is because if you're familiar with the old APS RAM markers, the internals of that, if anything went wrong, and it often did, yeah, so if you know that pain, you know what I'm talking about, is that inside here is all the mechanics of the gun, whereas before in the APS it used to be inside the gun itself. So if you needed to change a seal, you'd have to take the top, you'd have to take the slide off. Anyway, it was a pain. It was a pain in the backside. Now, to access the seals, you've just got a simple screw there. It comes undone. Really easy to put anything that does go wrong right. And the great thing about these is they very rarely go wrong. Probably, I don't want to curse it. I just want to say good things about it, because I do love this pistol. I honestly think this is probably the most reliable, definitely the most reliable .43 paintball gun out there, but probably the most reliable paintball pistol out there. They just don't go wrong. Apart from things that you would expect to replace, everyday wear and tear, like rubber seals, they just don't go wrong. Umarex, well done. So some of the other features, well actually I'll just run through the magazine. To load this, we're going to use it. We're going to use an empty one, so we're not going to waste the CO2. But to load this, and this is a really nice feature, and hopefully I can get this out of here, is you get one standard mag in the box, and to load it, you've got a grub screw just here. You turn that anti-clockwise. It goes in clockwise to tighten it up, and then that will pierce and you'll hear it engage. That might seem like a pain to you, but each 12 gram in one of these will probably give you return about 30 or 40 shots, and each of these holds 8 rounds, and it will hold either 8 .43 paintballs, which tiny little paintball, there you go. Oh yeah, should have showed you. This spring here, to load, you have a what you'd call a follower or a lever, and that just comes down really easy, secures in place, allows you to load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. So each 12 grams will give you 4 or 5 reloads before you have to change the 12 gram again. Although that looks like a pain, you don't have to do it that often. And if that is a worry, not that it would be a worry, but Umarex have got what they call the quick release magazine. Now with this, there's no Allen key adjustment. You just do that with your finger, clockwise, anti-clockwise to loosen, clockwise to tighten up. You put your 12 gram in like so, tighten him up, and then when you're ready to fire, it's just a simple case of you tap the bottom and it's quick released. So similar to the HD50 revolver, the HDP pistol, and the HDS shotgun. So that just gives you that option. If you're not worried about that, then the normal mag's just absolutely fine for that. So we'll put that back in. Other things to tell you about this. Yeah, so the slide is all metal, and the lower is polymer, is a hard polymer. So you're not likely to get any breaks. I mean, the one thing I would say you want to be careful is these mags are expensive. I suppose if there's one drawback is that these mags are quite expensive. So if you drop them and you damage them, then it's, you know, you might shed a tear or two, because they're around about 40 bucks, 40 euros, something like that. So it's not something you want to be careless with. Right, so I'm just going to show you, should really have got the balls out. Just going to show you how to change the spring. So if you're firing a .43 rubber round or a harder round, something like these, I'll show you the difference, is that paintballs will go squish eventually and these won't. So these are reusable rubber rounds, and they're slightly harder, slightly heavier. So you need a harder, stiffer spring. So we'll get that out. And they are color coded, so the stiffer spring's black and the softer spring's silver. Now this is always interesting because when you're replacing this, you shouldn't have a CO2 in there. So let's do this properly and take that out. What you call the bottom plate of the magazine, to get out the spring, this need to give it a little bit of persuasion, but you can just pull that off in the fork, and then you've got this guide, if you like, which has a spring in place. So just keep an eye on where they go. Hopefully we can get that in shot. And then that spring just comes out. That spring goes in. This goes back. So you've got this locator for the spring that keeps this sort of locking plate in place, if you like, and that pushes in to there. And that is very if you do have the spring depressed and you take that off, everything goes flying everywhere. So that's an easy thing to lose. So just be careful when you're doing it. Don't do it in the field. I wouldn't do it. It's not something I recommend doing in the field. Right. So that goes on like that. Plate goes back on. Just got to push the 12-gram adjuster in a little bit so the whole plate can go on, and that's it. It's as easy to change as that, and you can feel the difference when you pull that down to load the rubber rounds. And just like the paintballs, 8 of those go in. So we're looking at how to clean this thing, and it's fairly straightforward. If I could unravel the squeegee, there we go. You put that in that way. And that just pulls all the muck out of there. You can go in through the grip, but I don't really see any point of doing that. That's the area that will need cleaning. Maintenance wise, not a huge amount to do. Umarex, what they advise is that you use one of their Umarex maintenance capsules. So it's a capsule that's filled with the oil that this needs to operate properly, and you need to do that every other time you use it. I think it's probably a good recommendation. If you're wondering where the user manual is, well, they've carefully hidden it behind here. And I know this has stumped a lot of people because I get asked a lot of times, where's the user manual? Why haven't you sent us a user manual? Well, it's here. It's under the foam. Carefully hidden by Umarex. And in this, you have your safe gun handling in many different languages. You also have your maintenance schedule and advice about repair. You've got very, very small operating instruction, just going through what each piece is and how to do some of the things that we just talked about in this video. But if you are looking for a paintball pistol, you're looking for a sidearm, you're looking for something to plink in the garden, I mean, I just could not recommend this highly enough. This is an awesome piece of kit. The other T4E .43 out there, Smith & Wesson, and the TPM1, again, they're great pieces of kit. But if I was to pick a favourite of all those three, me personally, I'd pick the PPQ. It's been around longer, and it's just faultless.
Yay, first time.
Probably what everybody's been waiting for is, how does it shoot? This tow rag here, we shot him at around about 35-40 feet. We were using rubber rounds, and at that distance, you are just not missing the target. And if I can turn him round, I'll slide him out. And if you can see, I mean, he got shot a lot, but if you can see, I mean, this is thin. This is a thin piece of steel. Even at that distance, there's dents there, so it carries a punch. So the effective range of the PPQ, I would say, where you're going to hit the target every time, is probably about 50 feet. Now, I will say they do advertise it as part of the HD range as well. So home defence. I'd say if you're looking for something for home defence, this isn't it. You know, although it does pack a punch with a .43, it's not going to stop an intruder in your house. It's not going to happen. It's probably just going to annoy them. And to be honest, here in the UK, it isn't legal to do that, and probably elsewhere in the world, it isn't legal to do that. So as a home defence tool, mechanism, whatever you want to call it, that isn't what this is for. It's great for paintball. It's great for plinking. If you like playing with pistols and you like shooting, this is probably the best paintball pistol on the market at the moment. I can't fault it. I can't sing its praises enough. Buy it. Go and get one. If you can afford it, go and get one. You will not be disappointed. So guys, that's the end of this review. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and think about subscribing, clicking the notifications, and we'll see you next time.
Don't think I'm going to be winning any shooting competitions soon.